We are taking a look here at record sets, which are a collection of records which determine where to send traffic. The way it works with the AWS API is you'll actually send it to batch changes. If you're using the AWS Management Console, it looks like you're individually creating, adding, deleting, but I want you to know that underneath it does this kind of batch thing. If you've ever used any other kind of domain name services or servers, you'll notice that they kind of have a batch approach to it. So that's why I like showing the API here. There are the following record types that are supported. So we have our alias record, the 4As, which I believe is for IPv6, CAA, CNAME, DS, MX, NAPTR, NS, pointer, SOA, SPF, SRV, TXT, and that's all of them there. If you don't know what these are, you should have done our domain name server primer where I talk about all the main ones here. I'm not going to talk about them here, but you should learn some of them as we work through this. I just want to point out here what this is doing over here. So here we are calling the change record sets. We're not creating or updating, it's just change. And then we provide our changes and we give it an action. And then here we are setting a CNAME and we're saying, take this domain and point it to that domain. It's pretty simple. This API call has three types of actions. You have the create, the delete, and the upsert. Create creates, delete deletes. Upsert will create a record if it doesn't already exist. And if it already exists, it's going to update it. There's a special record type called record alias or record type. And the idea here is that if you set this to be A, then you can provide an alias target and you can specify a DNS name to a very specific AWS resource. And the reason why you'd want to do this, and it's preferred to do this, is because AWS will continuously monitor that the DNS endpoint, and it will make it so that you don't end up with dead routes. So if you're pointing to a DNS record, like it'll always map. This thing will always map to the latest IP address if it changes, and so this is definitely preferable. But when you utilize it in the AWS Management Console, you just like click through and it connects to it. But if you're using cross management accounts, like in another account, you can't just click and select it. You have to know what the DNS name is and put it in there. So it's good to get some exposure to looking at what that looks like. These alias targets can point to CloudFront, Beanstalk, ELB, S3 website endpoint, resource record set, a VPC endpoint, and API gateway endpoints for regional APIs. So there you go.